Hey y'all, let's talk about something that's been messing with your vibe, and you might not even realize it. That non-stop chatter in your head. Yeah, that's the sneaky culprit behind a ton of your stress and unhappiness. Picture this: you wake up, and before you even grab your toothbrush, that voice is already at it. Predicting a rough day, replaying yesterday's fumbles, or stressing about tomorrow's to doze. It's like a 24/7 podcast of doubt, fear, and judgment, and it's exhausting. But here's the game changer: that voice. It's not you. Let's get real. This endless inner dialogue is a cage, but not one made of steel bars. It's built from words, judgments, fears, complaints, comparisons. You've heard the self-help gurus say, change your thoughts, change your life, and yeah, that's cool. But what if the real problem isn't what you're thinking? It's that you're thinking too much at all. That voice isn't your wise BFF or a life coach. It's a trap, keeping you stuck in a loop of overthinking that blocks joy, clarity, and the peace you've been craving. Imagine chilling by a crystal, clear lake, so still it mirrors the starry sky above, like a perfect Instagram shot of the universe. Now, toss a pebble in. Ripples spread, the reflection shatters, and the beauty's gone. That's what your inner voice does, constantly stirring up your mind, making it impossible to find stillness. It's like your brain's an overflowing coffee cup. No room for anything fresh, just the same old noise. Labeling, analyzing, judging. Eckhart Tolle calls this the pain body, a shadow self that feeds on negative vibes, growing stronger every time you replay drama, stress about worst-case scenarios, or beat yourself up. This pain body feels so real, doesn't it? It's like a fake version of you, whispering fears and doubts, making you think it's your true self. But here's a mind blower. If that voice is you, then who's listening to it? Pause and think. Who's the one hearing all that chatter? In that tiny space between the words, you might catch a glimpse of something incredible, a quiet, steady presence, deeper than thoughts, calmer than words. That's the real you. In ancient wisdom, Hindu philosophy calls it the Atman, your eternal self. Christians might say it's the still small voice of God. Taoists call it the Tao, the natural flow of life. Whatever you call it, it's your core, untouched by the noise. Your mind loves its own drama. It's like a reality TV show that never stops. It swings from past regrets to future worries, never chilling in the now. That imbalance, it's why you suffer. A tiny annoyance, like getting stuck in traffic, turns into a full-blown saga. This is so unfair. I'm wasting my life. Or you scroll Instagram, see someone's highlight reel, and suddenly you're spiraling. Why don't I have that car, that vacay, that life? It's not the traffic or the posts making you miserable. It's the stories your mind spins about them. A Course in Miracles nails it. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Your thoughts aren't reality. They're just shadows on the wall, like Plato's cave allegory. Focus on the shadows, and you miss the light. Here's the secret sauce: the second you stop talking to yourself, even for a split second, the shift kicks in. You taste freedom. You step out of that mental cage and into a wide open field of awareness. Now, I'm not saying you gotta force your mind to shut up. That just makes the chatter louder. It's about noticing the voice without jumping on its drama train. Think of it like this: instead of tossing more pebbles into that lake, just listen to the water. The poet Rumi said, "Silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation." When you let go of the inner noise, you hear that silence, and it's not empty. It's full of peace, fullness, life. Now, your mind's gonna fight back. That voice will scream, "You need me." How will you plan, solve, survive? But here's the truth. The real you, the deeper presence, knows how to live without all that noise. The sun doesn't need a clock to rise, right? You don't need constant overthinking to thrive. So, let's try this. Who are you without that voice? Who are you when your mind gets quiet? Don't answer, just feel it. Explore the stillness beyond the chatter. It's like looking into a clear mirror. No cracks, no distortion, just you, as you really are. Think back to when you were a kid, running through a field, doodling with crayons, or laughing so hard your belly hurt. You weren't narrating your life back then. You were just you. That's the vibe your true self is dying to get back to. Pure presence, simplicity, joy. In Buddhism, they call this sati, or mindfulness, being fully in the moment, no judgment, no commentary. When the Buddha hit enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, he didn't argue with his thoughts. He watched them float by like clouds. That's the goal. Observe, don't obsess. Let's be real. In today's world, silence feels like a pipe dream. Your phone's buzzing, emails are piling up, and the world's screaming for your attention. Even when you try to chill, that inner voice cranks up the volume, filling every quiet moment with noise. It's tempting to throw in the towel and say, stillness. Yeah, right. But here's the deal. The busier your mind, the more it's begging for a break. Thousands of years ago, Lao Tzu dropped this gem. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Stop chasing clarity. Just be and it'll come. There's this old story, a guy desperate for enlightenment goes to a monk who tells him to sit by a river and listen. Hours pass, and the guy's fed up. I just hear water. This is pointless. The monk smiles. When you stop looking for meaning, you'll hear everything. That's the trick. Stillness isn't something you achieve, it's something you remember. It's already inside you, waiting under the noise. So, how do you find it when the chatter won't quit? Start by noticing the voice without getting sucked in. Picture yourself in a movie theater. The thoughts are the film, but you're just the audience, not the star. At first, this might feel weird. The voice might get louder, whining, "This is dumb. You're wasting time. Don't fight it." That just gives it power. Instead, remind yourself, I'm the observer, not the drama. In Christianity, this is like centering prayer, a quiet connection with God where words fade and only presence remains. The mystics called it the peace that surpasses understanding. It's not about thinking harder. It's about letting go of the need to think at all. Imagine holding a glass of muddy water. Keep shaking it, and the dirt stays cloudy. But set it down, let it rest, and the water clears up. Your mind's the same. The more you wrestle with your thoughts, the messier they get. But when you let them be, clarity shows up on its own. In Hindu philosophy, they compare your true self to a lotus flower, growing in muddy water but staying pristine. No matter how chaotic your thoughts, your core stays untouched. That's where the shift happens. When you stop letting the voice define you, you start seeing the world differently. A tree isn't pretty or ugly, it just is. A moment isn't good or bad, it's just now. Thoughts will still pop up like clouds in the sky, but you don't have to cling to them. At first, this might feel like stepping into the unknown. That voice has been your ride or die for so long, its absence can feel shaky. But the deeper you sink into stillness, the more you'll find it's not empty. It's full of peace, presence, life. This stillness, what some call the void, freaks people out. If I'm not the voice, who am I? What's left? But the void isn't empty. It's overflowing with everything you've been chasing. In Taoism, the void is like a pot. It's the emptiness inside that holds whatever you need. Think of a dense forest, so packed with trees that sunlight can't get through. That's your mind, overgrown with thoughts. Quiet the chatter, and it's like thinning the trees. Suddenly, the light pours in, and you see where you stand. The voice won't vanish overnight. It's been your toxic BFF for years. Don't fight it. That just makes it stronger. Instead, treat it like background noise on the radio. You hear it, its fears, its critiques. But you don't have to crank up the volume. In the Bible, Elijah looked for God in big moments, a wind, an earthquake, a fire, but found him in a still small voice. What if that voice isn't sound at all, but the alive, vibrant stillness beneath the noise? That's where your intuition, creativity, and wisdom live. The stuff the chatter drowns out. Picture walking through a bustling farmer's market. Your inner voice might grumble. It's too loud. That guy's staring. Does he think I'm weird? Before you know it, you're stressed and checked out. Now, try this, notice the voice, but don't buy into it. Just watch. Suddenly, you hear the laughter, smell the fresh coffee, see the colors of the produce. The chatter fades to the background, and the moment comes alive. Even chaos feels peaceful. That's why meditation, prayer, and mindfulness are huge in spiritual traditions. They help you step into that void and realize the voice isn't the boss of you. A Zen monk once asked his master, "What's enlightenment?" The master said, "When hungry, eat. When tired, sleep." The monk was like, doesn't everyone do that?" The master grinned, "Nope. Most people, when hungry, overthink a million things. When tired, they fight sleep with worry. Enlightenment is just being, fully, simply now. When you stop letting the voice run the show, fear starts to melt. Fear needs stories to survive. What if this happens? I'm not ready. But in the void, there's only now, and now is always safe. Think of a bird on a branch. It doesn't stress about the branch breaking. It trusts its wings to fly if it does. The void teaches you to trust too. Not in life's guarantees, but in your ability to handle whatever comes. This is surrender, what mystics have preached forever. It's not giving up, it's giving into life's flow, to the stillness inside, to the truth that you're more than your thoughts. When you tap into this, the world doesn't feel so heavy. Stuff that used to trigger you loses its grip. You laugh at the voice's drama, and a quiet joy takes over. The shift isn't a one and done, it's a journey. The deeper you go, the more you see the void isn't empty. It's a mirror reflecting your true self. Ever been in a packed room but felt totally alone? That's the voice isolating you, convincing you something's missing. But beyond the noise is something sacred, your heart. It doesn't argue or judge. It just pulls you toward connection, warmth, presence. In Hindu philosophy, this is the Atman, your soul's link to the universe. While your mind chatters, your heart stays steady, whispering you're already enough. That truth can hit hard. The voice has spent years telling you your worth is tied to your wins, your relationships, your hustle. But the heart sees through that noise. Think of the prodigal son in the Bible. He blew his inheritance, came home ashamed, expecting the worst. Instead, his dad threw a party. That's your heart, always ready to welcome you back, no matter how far you've strayed. To hear it, don't fight the voice. Just shift your focus. It's like sitting by a campfire, the flames. Your thoughts are loud, but beyond them, the night sky, your heart is infinite. Look up and the noise fades. One way to connect with your heart, gratitude. Not the fake, I should be thankful, kind, but the real deal. Pause and feel the miracle of now, the air in your lungs, the sun on your face, a bird chirping nearby. Rumi said, "Wear gratitude like a cloak, and it'll feed every corner of your life." Gratitude pulls you into the present, where your heart lives. Another trick, compassion. When the voice trashes you, "You're not enough," respond like you would to a scared kid. Would you yell at them? Nah, you'd hug them and say, "It's okay. Treat yourself that way, and the voice loses its grip. Compassion doesn't stop with you. It spills over to others. When you're not trapped in the voice's stories, you see people clearly, their struggles, their joys, their humanity. You want to connect not out of need, but from abundance. In Buddhism, this is metta, loving kindness. You radiate love to yourself, your crew, even your haters. The voice might push back. They don't deserve it, you'll get hurt. But your heart knows better. Love isn't conditional, it's who you are. The more you rest in your heart, the lighter life feels. Fear, doubt, the need to control, they all start to fade. You laugh easier, breathe deeper, find joy in the little things, like your morning coffee or a random smile from a stranger. Challenges still come, and the voice will try to drag you back. But now you've got a choice: listen to the drama or return to your heart. It's a dance. Some days the voice is loud, others the heart shines bright. Keep choosing the heart, and you'll see. It is the stillness you've been seeking. Stopping the inner chatter isn't the end. It's the start of a new way to live. You've felt the stillness, tapped into your heart, realized you're more than the voice. But how do you keep this vibe going? It's not about perfection or silencing the voice forever. It'll creep back, whispering its old fears. The difference now, you see it for what it is, a shadow, not you. The Bhagavad Gita drops this wisdom. Do your thing with balance. Let go of obsessing over wins or losses. It's not about detaching from life. It's about living fully, without fear of failing or needing everyone's approval. Mindfulness is your superpower here. It's not just a trendy buzzword, it's a lifestyle. Be here now, with all your senses. Picture sipping your coffee. The voice might rush you, stressing about your to-do list. But when you're mindful, you feel the mug's warmth, taste the brew, smell the aroma. A basic moment turns magical. That's mindfulness, making the ordinary extraordinary. When you're not stuck in your head, you really see others, their struggles, their wins, their humanity. Kindness flows naturally, not because you're trying to be good, but because you feel connected. St. Francis of Assisi said, "It is in giving that we receive." Helping others shows you we're all in this together. The voice's stories of competition and scarcity, total lies. Living the shift means embracing life's mystery. The voice craves control, answers, certainty, a plan. But your heart thrives in the unknown. Rumi nailed it. Don't resist the changes that come your way. Let life live through you. Stop clinging to old stories and trust the flow. You can still set goals, but hold them lightly. Even when life throws curveballs, it's guiding you toward growth and connection. Doubt will creep in. The voice might say, "This is too hard. Go back to stressing." But those moments aren't failures. They're chances to grow. Each time you notice the voice and choose stillness, you get stronger. Zen teacher Shunryu Suzuki said, "You are perfect as you are, and you could use a little improvement. You're already whole, but you're also growing." One day, you'll look back and see the shift happen moment by moment, choice by choice. Freedom is the ultimate gift of the shift. Not freedom from life's challenges, but freedom within them. When the voice doesn't control you, challenges become growth opportunities, fear turns into courage, loss teaches love. By letting go of the chatter, you connect deeper to life. You're not watching from behind a veil of thoughts. You're fully alive, fully here. The shift isn't something you chase. It's something you embody. You're not the voice. You're the stillness, the heart, the light breaking through the noise. When you stop talking to yourself, the shift happens. And when it does, life becomes a mirror, reflecting the beauty, peace, and love you've always been. Thanks for vibbing with me on this journey. If this hit home, smash that subscribe button. I'd love to keep this convo going. Peace out.